What is going on, people? K Woods here today to do my review of issue 1 of Star Wars Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir. And this is going to be a 4-part comic book miniseries based on Darth Maul and the events of what happened to him after the Clone Wars. Because unfortunately, Star Wars The Clone Wars was canceled, and we as fans were wondering what happened to Darth Maul, and we had a whole bunch of questions. And I'm glad that Dark Horse Comics, decided to do this, work with Lucasfilms to create this comic book series because Darth Maul, when he was announced to make his return, a lot of people were hyped about it. I know there were mixed feelings about Darth Maul and him, being finding out that he was alive. But all of his story arcs were very good, and some people think they're the best episodes of the Clone Wars series. So I'm glad that Dark Horse Comics decided to do this and make this, a mini series. So we find out that Darth Maul was taken into prison by Sidious, and he was taken to the planet of Stygion, where Sidious, we find out that his plan is to use Maul to lure out Mother Talzin, the Night Sister Witch. And the reason why is because he sees her as a threat, and he wants to use the connection that Maul has with Talzin to lure her out and to take care of her, but through special means, because he said that you can't just go to Dathomir, send armies and try to, hunt her down. Someone like her needs, special, you need a special way to take care of her. And that's one of the things I like about Sidious is that, not only is that the dude is a genius, but like he does not underestimate anybody, and that if he sees somebody is strong or growing into power, and he will take you out or, try to eliminate you. Look at Ventress. He found out, he knew about Ventress a while ago from Dooku's secret assassin, and then he knew that Ventress was getting stronger, and with the rule of two that he strongly believes, he couldn't allow that to happen. So he had told Dooku to get rid of Ventress, and that's just one thing I do. He's not underestimating any of his enemies or anybody else who has potential to be, a threat. And we find out, and we also get the first confrontation between Dooku and Maul, which I liked. The first time these two characters are meeting one another. But Maul can care less about Dooku because he refers to him as the Jedi betrayer, a Sith pretender, because this is, Maul was, as a child, bred to be a Sith warrior, while Dooku was a Jedi master who decided to go to the dark side, and Maul doesn't count him as a real Sith. And Dooku at first is interrogating him to finding out more about Shadow Collective. That's the group that Maul formed with the Mandalorians and all the Black Suns and all the crime, families. And they want to make Maul believe that they're after his, Shadow Collective, but they really are after Mother Talzin. But they need to make sure that Maul doesn't know about their true intentions. But luckily, though, Maul is rescued thanks to two Mandalorian warriors, Rook Kast and Gar Saxon. And I got to say, though, their armor looked pretty sick. The black and red and the horns, it really stood out. They really looked like badasses. And overall, the artwork with this, this comic book series, the first issue, I have no complaints. I'm not really a big comic book reader, so my expectations may be different from people who read comic books on a daily basis. But for what I saw, I really enjoyed the artwork. I thought it was cool. The Mandalorians looked great, Maul's design, and all the other characters. I really have no complaints. And they rescue Maul from the orders of Almec, who was the guy that he was the Mandalorian Prime Minister, because he was trying to pay his debt to Maul because Maul had freed him from his prison and gave him the position that he did. And they escape the planet and they go to Zanbar, which is one of Maul's bases. And we find out that apparently the Black Suns and the Pikes are still under Maul's are still loyal to Maul. However, the Hutt family left, and I'm not surprised with the Hutt family because they seem like they're only in it for themselves. And they first, they didn't want to be with Darth Maul, but they had no choice because they were surrounded, they were ambushed, and as soon as they saw the opportunity, they bailed. But of course, I understand with the Black Suns because the Black Suns they lost their majority leaders, and the Pikes, they were like, "Yo, we want in. We heard about this, all these alliances that you're making." So it makes sense to why those two would still be there. And you just gotta love the Mandalorians and their pride, and how they love a sense of battle, because Maul, he had his dark saber, he got his the robes back on. He's like, brothers, get ready for the war that you've prayed for, because these Mandalorians, they love battle, they love war, and their phrase was victory or death. They don't care if they die, they just want to battle. And it's a really cool thing to look on with these Mandalorians. They're awesome. and we get a battle between the separate, like, the Darth Maul's Mandalorian army and with Grievous and his droid army. Because yes, Grievous enters and he has orders to cripple Maul, not kill him, of course. And it's pretty cool to see, Grievous and Maul interact, and they fight for a short while. You see the Mandalorians going in, but unfortunately, most of the Mandalorians are taken out because of the fact that the droid army is just there's just so many droids, and numbers mean everything. And I remember in the Clone Wars there was an episode where Grievous was on Naboo, and Grievous was surrounded by the Gungans, Jar Jar's people, and he was defeated and he was taken captured. And so many people were complaining, and they were like, "Oh, you mean to tell me, all these clone troopers can't capture them all, but a whole bunch of Gungans can?" But you have to realize that numbers mean everything in war and battle. Grievous usually uses his droid armies or his droid bodyguards as a distraction so that he can escape, but he had nowhere to run. He was surrounded, outnumbered, and his droid army was non-existent. He had to fight on his own, and he underestimated the Gungans, which is why he was captured to begin with. So, numbers mean everything, and unfortunately, the Mandalorians, even though they were probably more skillful than these droids, they were getting beaten. But Maul uses his gauntlet fighters, which are bombers, to destroy the rest of Grievous's troops, and Maul bails out of there as soon as he can. I don't blame him. And Grievous did his job, and Dooku tells Grievous, of course, that that's the plan, to cripple Maul, to make him so weak. It makes his forces weak so that Mother Talzin would have to help him. And I'm thinking more and more that perhaps Darth Maul couldn't be the son of Talzin, because remember, now it might be weird because you're like, wait, well, why would she give up her only son to Sidious? Maybe she had no choice. Maybe she was at a situation where she had no choice but to give Maul up, and because we heard from Sidious that she holds a grudge against him, and maybe that's why he took her only son gone, and maybe that's why she's going to go to such lengths to help her. And we see a preview of the next issue that the Night Brothers of Dathomir are going to get involved, and you're going to need an army of Mandalorians. It's going to be an epic battle, man, and I can't wait for the next issues to come out. And hopefully they should consider animating this and giving out on DVD, maybe on Netflix or something, because this needs to be animated. To see all these battles, the Mandalorians, all these different factions fighting each other, man, it's going to be awesome. I really enjoyed this issue one, the introduction issue. Really no problems with it. The artwork I thought was really good, especially with the Mandalorians and their armor. It was good to see Maul interact with different characters like Dooku and having him fight one-on-one with Grievous. And I can't wait to continue this war, between Maul and Sidious to see what happens. Leave your thoughts down below what you thought about this issue one, the art style, what did you best moments, and what are your predictions? And do you guys have any other ideas what could be the connection between Mother Talzin and Darth Maul? And there's maybe something that's even deeper than being mother and son. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening in, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. Have a good day.